Hey guys, Andy here from Mediocre Hobbies coming at you with this week's 3D printing video. This particular video is going to be all about this. This is the Uniformation GKTwo. It is an absolutely stunning 3D printer that was very kindly sent to me a couple of weeks ago, and I've been making videos about it kind of loosely for the last kind of week or two. Some very quick kind of grab a model, print it out, get it painted kind of videos. Well, this video is going to be the full in-depth review of the machine, what I truly think about it, what kind of results I can get from it. I'll basically tell you guys my honest opinion at the end. The reason I decided to jump a little bit ahead and make this video now is because so far I've featured it twice already, and I must say that I am very, very impressed with this machine. Now, having said that, this machine is quite expensive. Now, it does have a bunch of features which I think make it worth the money, but currently with the Black Friday sale on Amazon, it has got a huge 25% discount available currently. So if this is something you've been on the fence about picking up, or you want a slightly higher end printer than something you're normally used to, then perhaps this is the machine for you, and perhaps this is the video that will help you make that decision. What I decided to do was print 3 pieces for this particular video, and I basically went to some of my favorite creators. So I went to Loot Studios and Dragon Trapper's Lodge and picked some of the most complicated, larger scale prints that I could find, printed them out to truly test what the machine can do. I then also jumped over to Cults 3D and found this beautiful bust of like a Beastman model, and I got that printed out as well. Like I said, I really wanted to push myself and see what I could get done and see if there would be any like hiccups or mistakes or anything like that. So I will go through the whole process I did of printing out these 3 miniatures and what the results can be, what I think about how it turned out, and then I'm also going to spend a little bit of time getting some paint on the Beastman model just to see how these models paint up, see if any print lines show up, because right now I can't see any print lines on this thing. I'll also throughout the video talk to you a little bit more about the features of this machine and why I think it's worth the money that it costs. Okay, so these are some of the original prints that I decided to do. So the first one I went for is this awesome looking kind of Cthulhu Mind Flayer style D&D character, which is one of the miniatures from this month's Dragon Trapper's Lodge Patreon. So the base was one of the things that stood out to me immediately as how crystal clear and smooth it was. It was kind of after I printed this thing that I first started to notice the bizarre thing where I can't find any print lines. Everything is silky smooth. I haven't changed the settings. I haven't tweaked it. I haven't gone to 0.00001%. Like, you know what I mean? It's just whatever was standardly set up as, that's what I left it as, and that's what I've been printing as. And the results that I've been getting have been quite spectacular. Now, I have had issues in the past with, you know, model pulling off build plates or anything like that. I am actually still a person that's quite nervous with larger prints. I never had problems with small prints. They were always super easy, you know, printing off shoulder pads or heads or anything like that. You can print off loads of them, no problem. Large parts tend to have a large footprint on the build plate and on the LCD screen on the base, which means that each time that build plate pulls up, it creates a lot of suction. It has a better chance of pulling the print off of the build plate. So that's one of the things I really wanted to challenge myself. So one of the other things I decided to print was this, which is a really large sea serpent model from Loot Studios. I really kind of jammed up and filled up the build plate with that one, like even so much so that rafts were overlapping. So like 3 of the parts technically were one giant raft. And this one I was convinced something was going to go wrong and it was going to pull off the build plate. That did not happen. It all came out solid and was beautiful. The third print I went for was a couple of busts. Once again, I changed some settings, changed some sizes. One print was a solid bust, then I went 50% down, test all that out, and everything seemed perfectly fine. After that, I just very carefully removed all of the supports from all the parts that I had printed off for this particular video, for this little test of mine. You know, a cup of boiling water, submerge in for a couple of seconds, pull all the supports off. You go in with the tweezers after that, and remove any excess supports that exist in any of the kind of finer parts. Like for instance, inside this maws, in the sea serpent's mouth was a million supports. Obviously support all those razor sharp teeth, got 2 rows of teeth. But all the supports came out just fine and left this absolutely incredible beast behind in his wake. I was I'm still super impressed with the result of this thing. Even on this guy, like I said, the full intricate detailed flat base. Literally no print lines. I don't understand it. It is, of course, an 8K printer, so obviously it's doing a better job than normal. This is the bust that I just pulled off of Cults. It's literally a random Beastman bust, and this is the thing that I'm going to be playing with a little bit today. I'm going to be trying to get some color on. There's only kind of 2 or 3 hours left in my working day, so I'm going to see what I can do with that amount of time. So this thing won't be finished by the end of the video, but let's see what we can do. So before we get painting though, let's have a quick look at the actual machine itself. Like I said, this is the Uniformation GKTwo 3D printer. It is one of the, I don't know, most sturdy feeling 3D printers. Well, that's a bizarre thing to say, but when I'm carrying this thing around the room from my printing shelf to a place where I can kind of record it and make it look a little bit better, there's a lot of weight to it. And I don't know about you, but weight to me kind of feels like, I don't know, it's like a sturdier construction. The automatic thermostats inside is an absolutely incredible thing. You can keep this thing in colder environments like a garage or a shed, and it's still going to give you accurate and precise prints without fail. It's fantastic. Like I said, it's an 8K printer. It's also quite a large build plate. As you can see, I got to print lots of nice bits and pieces on top of it. Like I said, these guys signed me up originally to do 4 videos for them. So the deal was 1 video like this where I do an in-depth, kind of have a proper look at it, and 3 other videos where I can just show it off. Or if I need to print something else, I just say, I printed this today using my GK2, you know, that kind of a video. And usually when I do those kind of things, I do the big review video first, and then I just, you know, spatter out the other videos throughout the next month or 2 where I'm printing out stuff. Whereas because this one had quite a little bit of a higher price tag, I felt like I really wanted to do a good job on it and make sure that I was suggesting this thing to you guys that was kind of proper. So I decided to do the videos in reverse. I was going to just do 3 quick test videos of it, which would give me a better indication as to what kind of results you would get if you purchased this machine. So far I've done 2 of those, and this is actually my 3rd video. So I am jumping ahead by 1 video, mainly because I am super impressed with the results of this thing. I do feel like if you do want a larger scale format printer and you do have the funds to pick this thing up, I think it's a great printer. The reason I'm doing it now is we obviously have the Black Friday sale running the 20th to the 22nd over on Amazon, and you can currently pick this bad boy up for 25% off. So you're saving over €200 on it, which is no small amount. It goes from, I don't know, it's already a little bit more expensive on their website. You jump over to Amazon, it's a little bit cheaper again, and then 25% off. It goes from being like a ridiculously expensive printer, not ridiculously expensive, but an expensive printer, to quite a reasonably priced machine that I would be very comfortable picking up myself. So as you can see, I'm now slashing paint on this thing just to see how it turns out. I'm using the Duncan Rose 2 Thin Coats paints to have a little play with triads. I really want to try and pull the designs up, or the detail up on the model. And like I said, I can't find print lines. I don't know whether any other resin printer I've used so far has had so few or so tight print lines. There's none. This is the future of 3D printing. Like the only downside, well, the only 2 downsides to ever working with resin 3D printing is, 1, you're working with resin, which is not a very nice material to work with. If you saw all the times where I was touching these raw miniatures, I was gloved up, keep my skin safe. I was wearing a mask to keep my lungs safe, and so on and so forth. So that's something that you cannot really mitigate. Obviously, this printer has a built-in fan with a charcoal filter built in, so a lot of the fumes and all those harsh chemicals are being taken out of the air before it kind of hits your room, which is really cool. And then obviously the other downside of 3D printing was sometimes you would get some defects like print lines that you just couldn't really mask, and if you hit them with something like a contrast or a wash, they were going to scream out at you and be really noticeable. With this, I just can't find them. I did talk about the idea that I was going to run out of time painting up this particular Beastman, so I did get the kind of base, you know, mid-tone and layer and highlight done on his skin and on all of his teeth and all of the horns. But after that, I'm going to have to unfortunately go through kind of like a speed round, and I'm just going to try and slap base coats on the rest of the model, just so by the end of this video I have something that looks akin to a finished piece. And then obviously in my own personal time the next week or so, I will jump in and continue painting this guy up and getting all the layering done. I don't know why a Beastman. It was either a Beastman or a Goblin that was going to kind of draw me out and make me want to paint this guy. So in the end, this beautiful Beastman bust screamed out at me while I was scrolling through busts and cults. And yeah, I just had to have him. This was a free 3D print as well. I will not be linking him down below. I don't know what the deal is with the copyrights for Beastman characters. I don't know how stringent Games Workshop can own them. I know it's their IP. So yeah, out of respect to the creator and not risk him having his stuff taken down, I will not be linking him below. So as you can see, I am just starting to slap base coats on the rest of the parts. We've done brown for all of the straps. We've given them some kind of dark grey fur. I'm going to build it up to kind of a paler fur later on. Throwing a metallic down over all of the silver panels, obviously all the buckles and all these armor panels. They need to get washed and highlighted up kind of soon as well. After that, we are going to black out the underneath bits. This is one of those bits that I really like about busts, the illusion of where it stops, and I like that like jet black on the bottom and on the base of the arms and stuff, which is like, yeah, this is just cut off here. It does continue on in your mind and create a completed model. Very carefully painted those in black, and then I just used my hand with a glove to basically hold the model, spray the little plinth black. This isn't a real plinth. This is actually just a piece of off-cut MDF wood that I had lying around that I made into a plinth. Here is some of the beasts that I didn't get to paint yet, but they're all sprayed up. Just the spraying kind of makes the detail jump out a little bit more. You can see how crisp and clean these guys are as pieces. Absolutely beautiful models to own. I guess I've got a couple of D&D games in my future where I'll have to use these epic beasts. But yeah, what can I say? We'll now jump to the finished kind of Beastman model, or at least as finished as I managed to make him today. Look at the detail in the axe and everything. So this is as far as I managed to get. Like I said, I'm actually super proud of how far I did get and the result on things like the horns and the skin. I have to, of course, do the mid-tone, the highlight on all the other parts of this miniature. Maybe I'll do that on my Twitch stream later in the week. Here is some high-resolution images of the other things that I printed. And I think these prints speak for themselves to the quality of the machine in question. Like I said earlier, like I was going to say in the outro, if it's something you're interested in, guys, I will leave links to everything below. You can jump on and grab yourself a deal if you manage to grab it before the 27th. Oh, the 27th is included, so before the 28th, you will save yourself quite a lot of money. Okay guys, and there we have it. I had a lot of fun putting some paint on that particular Beastman model. I've shown you some high definition pictures of it already. What can I say? I think this is a great machine. I think I can put my stamp of approval on it. If you are interested in getting into 3D printing and you have a little bit more money in the bank to spend on a slightly higher end printer, one that you're going to keep for years and years to come, you don't need to upgrade this kind of machine. Or if you have a place like you want to put this thing in a shed or a garage, which might be slightly colder, and where a normal printer just won't cut it because the resin will be too cold, you'll continuously get failed prints and it will drive you insane. With this, with the heated print bed on this thing, all those issues should go away, so you can put it in a colder room, which I think is, to me, that's the best feature of this whole machine. Not to mention the crazy detail and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, like I said, if it's something you're interested in, all the links will be below for you guys to go to Amazon, pick it up, save yourself a bunch of cash. Like I said, it's going to be running from the 20th to the 27th of this month, where the Black Friday deals week. So if you are looking to get it, that's the best time to do it. Save yourself a bunch of cash. Okay guys, I hope you did enjoy this video. If you did, make sure you give it a like. Ask me any question you want about 3D printing, the Uniformation printer, or anything else in the comments below. I will get back to each and every one of you guys. And make sure you're subscribed to the channel, and thank you so much for sticking around at the end of this video. I'll see you in the next one.